And Scott, happy to come back for a point, or is that an opportunity missed, do you feel?
Yeah, it's an opportunity missed, without a doubt, but at half time, you know, you'd have taken a point because we were appalling first half. Didn't have the energy, didn't have the work rate, didn't have the passing, didn't do what we've done recently. We looked a shadow of ourselves, and we've got to say it's the first time I've torn strips off them, and they got it. They got it at half time. But the response in the second half was really good. It's just disappointing that it's taken that to get the response. We scored a goal, and you know, had a few chances in around the box, but it wouldn't go in. Having said that, we've missed an absolute sitter in the first half. How Brett's missed from less than a yard, I do not know. That's 2 in the last 2 games, and we keep saying it. You know, we create. If you're creating chances, you've got to score them, and you know, they've not really created much today. You know, they were obviously very direct and physical, which we knew, but we didn't deal with it in the first half. We got bullied, and we didn't stand up strong enough. And we looked weak in the first half, but second half, when we came out with a renewed vigour and got the goal that we deserved, and you know, pressed on, but it just wasn't to be. But you know, when you play as poorly as that in the first half, to come away with anything, you've got to be happy with. But certainly after the first half performance, I wasn't happy at all with how we played, and you know, it's not good enough. It wasn't good enough the first half particularly.
But once again, it was the impact made by the substitutes, and the equaliser was the reward for that positivity.
Yeah, I mean, Sam's come on. Kieran's done something to his knee, which is obviously a blow to us. But Sam's got good quality. You know, he got in the box, but you know, we had a few more chances. Tristan had a chance. Brett had a good chance. You know, we didn't make the keeper work enough. Keep saying it. Even in the first half, we had a couple of chances where we didn't make the keeper work. We had balls flashing across the 6-yard box. That's why we played Tristan and Jordan, to be able to put balls in the box. But we weren't positive enough in the first half. We were getting the ball and standing still and passing backwards, and then losing impetus. You know, we didn't hold the ball up front. We didn't work hard enough. You know, all the things that you could say we should have done, we didn't. So to go in at half time 1-0 down, you know, was an opportunity to get back into it, which we did. And you know, we were on the front foot in the second half. Just the disappointing thing is that all our fans come and travel and they see a performance like that in the first half, and you know, you can't explain it. There's no reason to explain it. It's not been us. I've been honest with the players in the dressing room and told them that first half performance is wholly unacceptable.
And maybe conceding the goal typified the performance. It was a good header from Brown, but maybe he shouldn't have been allowed the opportunity to get such a free header in.
The initial thing, we weren't covering round, then we haven't stopped the cross, then we've lost the marker and lost the player in the box, and he's a good player. You know, he works his socks off. He played really well against us down here last year and caused us a lot of problems. You know, the players were well aware of exactly what they were going to come up against. That's the frustrating thing, is we knew it was going to be a difficult one where they were going to get, you know, second balls, and they were going to turn us round and get the ball in the box and make it difficult, and we couldn't cope with it. We didn't cope with it, you know. Too many players had off days, certainly in the first half. You know, and there's some serious words said. But having said that, after the game, there were some more serious words said about our performance in the first half, and they all look you in the eye and they accept what I'm saying. You know, I'm honest with them when we play well, and when I say that individually they do well. But a few players in there have got some criticism that's justly deserved, and they've taken it as they should do. Realise that I'm not doing it for any other reason than to, if they accept the positivity that we give them, they've got to accept the criticism as well.
And that honesty, I suppose, is what you're looking for.
Absolutely. You know, listen, we're by no means the finished article. We're nowhere near it, and players we keep talking about consistency, and when they don't stick to what we want them to do, then it looks a bit ragged, and that's the first time it's happened this season that we've looked like we've not really on the same wavelength as each other. So we've just got to get back to doing it. You know, obviously we lost Forbesy, that's going to be a difficult one. You know, we're down on numbers as it is, and another injury doesn't really help us. But we're fortunate. Tristan came and played 90 minutes. Fitch played a lot of minutes. You know, his sharpness isn't quite there. Neither's Tristan, but you know, Josh had the rest that he needed. You know, he's had the baby obviously, and you know, he suffered from all the emotional turmoil that involves. So but there's not a lot we can change it with now. We're down to probably 15 now for Tuesday, but I believe those 15 are good enough to go and get results. And you know, we've picked up a point today, and we have to look. We have to understand what we've done badly and what we've done wrong, but to play that poorly in the first half and still get a point against a side who beat us pretty convincingly down here last year shows we are a better side, but we've got to show it more consistently over 90 minutes. There's no doubt about that.
And Josh Scott, when he came on, he was the catalyst for that resurgence, and you'd almost expect maybe it would be the other way around. Brett Williams supplying Sam Hatton for a fine finish. You think it would be Sam Hatton putting the cross in for Brett, but yeah, it was a good move nonetheless.
It was, and you know, Brett's so frustrating at times. You know, he gets in some fantastic areas and he's a bit of an enigma, but you know, we know he's going to make mistakes, we know he's going to do things wrong, but he's got quality to do good stuff, but it's got to be more often. And I've just said to him in there, you know, people will always give you pats on the back because you're, you know, a talisman and you score goals, but you know, he's got to do more for us. He's got to do more for us throughout the game, and he knows that, and we know that we love Brett. We love Brett. We love what he does, and we love when he plays well. We play well as a team, but he's got to realise that sometimes if the team isn't playing well, someone's got to take that mantle upon themselves to lift the side, and he's able to do that. He lifts the fans, he lifts players, and you know, he's not the only one. There's players now that are taking that responsibility, and they've got to do that when they see that things aren't going right, because I can't keep changing it. Fortunately, we've made substitutions in a few games and they've had an impact, but you can't keep relying on that. You need, you know, we keep talking about them us having men and leaders in the side. Well, they've got to show that on a consistent basis every game, and they come to the fore even more so when you're not playing well.
And now Braintree at home on Tuesday. I think they've won today. It'll be another difficult game, particularly when you say possibly down to 15 fit players.
Yeah, well, Alan's, you know, got a fantastic record. They were very, very tough to play against there last year. We had a real tough game up at their place. Beat them at home, but we know how they play. They make no mistake about it, and they're very good at what they do. But you know, maybe today is a little bit of a wake-up call, and hopefully it is. You know, because that's a little taster of what's going to come on Tuesday. So we warned them before the game about what we were going to get today and how to deal with it, and we didn't. So maybe a wake-up call, and realising that what we do is in scouting and reports and showing videos and looking at what we do, it does actually, you know, come to the fore in games, and we need to deal with that with the Braintree result.